Welcome to Fitting Field and the 2022 Women's Soccer Season Preview. Matt Mendel alongside the women's soccer head coach Ryan Middendorf, now in his 20th season as the Falcons head man. And your offseason, how was it?
It's great. We had back to last spring, with the team, and it was just kind of feeling things out. And then the summer, for me personally, was an awesome summer. We had a lot of fun, a lot of family fun, and a couple of vacations in there. Lots of soccer camps this summer. We were excited to get those back up and running, but we had to kind of dust off a little bit because we hadn't done our overnight camps for a few summers, and now we were back at it, but blast. So we had over 500 kids come through our camps this summer.
Before we take a look at the here and now, let's look back at 2021 briefly and the team that went 14-4, won the regular season NAC championship. How do you recap or summarize what happened last fall?
Well, overall, we had an awesome season. We have high standards with our team, and we expect to be in the mix for winning conference championships, if not winning the conference championship. But we also have aspirations and standards of winning the tournament and getting a bid into the national tournament. We fell a little bit short from that standpoint, but overall, just a great season. I was so thrilled for our seniors who had finished up their last season. They had such a great career and had to deal with a lot of things over their 4 or 5 years with us. With COVID and everything, and they just battled through and had a tremendous last season, and we're excited. They've laid a great foundation for the future here.
For those returnees, is there a sense of unfinished business coming in, or is it kind of a clean slate?
I think a little bit of both. I think it's always a breath of fresh air to start a new season, and you have obviously aspirations and all of that sort of thing, but absolutely we were a little disappointed. Honestly, just a lot disappointed when we lost in that semifinal match last year. So I think our returning group, it's a great core group with a great perspective of things, and they're gonna hit the ground running, and we're excited about it.
How's the team looking so far in training camp?
We're 4 days in. So far, so good. We're excited about it. We have a great group of people. Obviously, talent is there, and we've got some tremendously talented players, but we have a great group of people, and that's, when it comes down to it, that's how we continue to build on our culture, is just making sure that we surround ourselves with great people, and we continue to do that year after year. So,
at that goalkeeping position, you lost your primary goalkeeper. Back is Brooke Braga, who has college experience. How's that competition kind of playing out so far in training camp?
We're so excited for Brooke. She had a season to sit behind Kaylee and learn from Kaylee. And actually, first 2 matches get thrown in there because Kaylee last year had an injury early season. And so what a great experience for Brooke, and what a great opportunity for her moving into this season. And she worked really hard in the summertime. Yesterday in training, she had a great training session. It was a session where she was getting pounded, and she had to respond a lot. And the last play of the session, she came up with a tremendous save. So her mindset is there, and I'm excited to see where we go with that.
Is it fair to say offense would once again be a big strength with all the pieces back?
Yeah, and they're just free flowing right now, which is great, and that's what you want out of your frontline players. And they're not putting a lot of pressure on themselves. They're playing. They're just going through and letting the game develop and present itself. And again, yesterday in training, on Brooke's tremendous save, the sequence leading up to that break was some of the best that I've seen while I've been here. And we're 4 days into being together.
Coming up on this preview video, you'll see an interview I did with Jordan Lafferty. What did you see from Jordan last year as she kind of busted on the scene, getting back to healthy, was the team leader in assists?
Yeah, she's such a special player. She's one of those players. The conference knows about her now, but she's one of those players. If you're not in tune with the game and aware of the nuances of the game, she might go unnoticed for a while, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, what did she just do? She just did that, and then we created that goal, and she was involved in everything. And she's just one of those special kind of players. So, again, I'm excited and thrilled for her opportunities.
When you look at the back line, one of the more experienced players, and she's still young when you look at eligibility, is Carmen Rowell. She is back. What are you seeing from the back line? What do you expect from the back line?
Well, we have some really good defenders, and we expect them to alleviate some of that pressure off of Brooke. But Carmen, Maddie Pirtle, they're having just great sessions already. They're able to put that first season behind them. That freshman year, although Carmen did a great job of just stepping in and establishing herself, she now has a full year under her belt. And I think she's one of the best defenders around.
How are the newcomers fitting in?
Great. They're, again, great group of people. They're all doing the right things, saying the right things. They're intermixing. Our upperclassmen are doing a great job of welcoming them and inviting them in. And there's some special pieces in there. So it'll be exciting to see how that all plays out, too.
And the team will begin with a couple of home matchups, September 1st against Lawrence at 2 o'clock, and then Alumni Day on September 3rd against Lake Forest at 1 o'clock here at Fitting Field, both of those matchups. To wrap it all up, to sum it all up, what do you see at least early on being key for this team to be successful? What needs to happen?
We just need to focus in on staying together and making sure that our group doesn't create any sort of disconnect within each other. Things are it's so early in the season. I've been doing this long enough to know that any sort of little thing that can sneak in there to break us up this time of season can be devastating, and we've got to be aware of that and be able to deal with any sort of conflicts that come up over the next couple weeks, whether that be an unexpected loss or whether it just be a conceded goal early in a match. How do we respond to that? And that's going to be how we really establish our personality as a team.
Coach, thanks for your time. Best of luck this season.
Thank you, Matt.
Being joined now by Falcon senior Selena Estin. How was your off season?
It was pretty good. I think we finished the season a little disappointed, but we all took the time to start practicing again, get the work in, and now we're back here on Fitting, ready to go for the year.
Kind of unique for your off season. You were a JV coach at your alma mater, Cedarburg High School, this past spring. Coaching perhaps in your future?
Thinking about it, with my major this year, I'm exercise physiology and then looking to get a coaching certificate to go along with it. But my high school coach, Robert, said he needed a couple extra people to help out. And since I'm in the area, I thought it would be a good experience after a season, then kind of putting my input into it. But it was a lot of fun.
This past fall, you were named a third-team All-Region on top of being the NAC Offensive Player of the Year. The Player of the Year accolade, what's that mean to you?
Honestly, I don't think the title means as much to me as like the work that I put in to get there. When I'm playing, it's not necessarily the accolades that I'm aiming for. It's just I want to be a good teammate and I want to provide for my team in any way that I can. So I think with the help of my team, they've been able to help me get to those points, especially with the amount of goals that I've gotten. And, I mean, the setups that we have are great.
When you look at your stat line, 23 goals, 3 assists, at least 1 goal in every match but 2. How did you see, especially as the season progressed, when the numbers were starting to, pile up, how did you see teams approach you defensively?
They definitely get on me a lot more. But with that, I think it opens up opportunities for other players especially. So in our top line, it's pretty known that me and Isabel Downs, as well as Caroline, teams kind of know us when we come in, but with that happening, they tend to mark us up more. That leaves outside players open, so it gives many other people opportunities to score those goals.
No question for opponents, pick your poison. What's been your focus so far in training camp here in the preseason?
Probably my fitness. It's hot, and we're working hard, so we're definitely tired, but as long as we can keep at it and keep good soccer, I mean, that's really what we care about.
Putting your coaching hat on, how's the team looking?
I'm excited. We've got a lot of freshmen and transfers coming in that show a lot of potential, and everyone who's a returner either looks better or ready to go.
Going to ask you about some of the newcomers, the transfers, how have they been fitting in?
Great. I mean, it's been such a good mesh. That's something that we've really had with our team is we focus a lot on like the team bonding aspects within the team, because once you have a good chemistry, then it shows on the field.
What goals, to wrap it all up, what goals do you have for yourself? What goals do you have for the team?
For the team, obviously a title would be nice. So if we could win the tournament or conference, that'd be great. We've been inching towards nationals each year, so if we could make an appearance there and actually get a win, that would be great. For me, I like to push myself more than I did the last year, so I don't really focus on how many goals I had, but I try to see if there's any ways that I can push myself further on the field.
Awesome, Selena. Thanks a lot for your time. All the best this season.
Thank you.
Now being joined by senior Jordan Lafferty, who last season had 2 goals, but a team best 11 assists, first team all-conference honoree. Outside of the team aspect, individually, were you pleased with the way your season went last year?
Yeah, it was much better than the COVID spring just because I was getting back from my knee injury. So that was basically, I was kind of focused on just getting back. And then last season I really wanted to push myself to really help out the team.
Coming back from injury, does it take a little bit of time to get back into the flow of things, or was it one of those where it's kind of like riding a bike and you just all comes back naturally?
It took me a while. I'd been out for a while, so like I had to like relearn how to run and stuff. So that was like a lot of stuff. That was a lot of hard work to get back. But once I got practicing, it started to get a little bit easier and easier.
So this past collegiate season was a breakout year for you as far as the college career goes. What's been your focus, or what areas of your game have you been working on here in the off season?
Fitness is one of the main things. At home in Arizona, it's super hot, so it's really nice to practice there and then come here and I'm like, oh, it's never hot here. It's so nice. But yeah, fitness has been the main thing. I really want to focus on being a leader this year and helping out like the freshmen and make sure like everyone comes in and feels comfortable, and so that our team can be the best we can be.
When you look back at your career back in high school, you're an assist getter. So far here in college, an assist getter. How much of a luxury is it having so many different targets you could potentially go to that can score goals?
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. Like even Selena and Isabel up there, just their movement is so good all the time. Like it's so easy to find them. They make my life so much easier. Carol just runs around like crazy, can beat literally anyone. So it's so nice to play with her too. And then last year I also had midfielder Kylie. She graduated. She was a great help, like defensively too, to help me find her and get the ball up.
From what you've seen so far, how's the team looking here in training camp? How's training camp going for you?
It's really good. Obviously, we're really tired. We have a lot of two-a-days. I think the freshmen have come in and are working really hard and fit right in. I think it's really good that last year our team was worked really well together, and it was personally my favorite team I've ever been on. So just bringing back all the returners, I think it gives the freshmen it makes it easier for them to come in.
What's the most, in your opinion, challenging aspect of training camp? You guys get to a point where you're like, I'm done with practice, I just want to play a game?
A little bit. I feel like it's definitely like you get eager. As a freshman coming in, I'm sure they're very much like anticipating the game, like who's going to be playing, stuff like that. But I think just the hardest part is just mentally. Like you have to get through it. You have to give your all every single practice because you want to earn your spot and get some playing time.
Finally, what goals do you have for yourself, for the team?
I don't really have any goals like assist or goal-wise. I just want to play my best as I can every game. For the team, I really want to win the conference tournament. That's been like the goal of mine since I came to college, and I would like to play in the NCAA tournament too.
Jordan, as always, thanks a lot for your time. All the best this season. You can see Jordan and her teammates in action here at Fitting Field. Season opener comes your way September 1st. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff against Lawrence.